What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Real talk coming at you, baby. I'm your host, Bill Forster. I have co-hosts scattered around the world, country, city, wherever they are in New York. I don't think Rich is going to be with us tonight. And he's already let me know that. Also sending prayers out to him. He doesn't like to talk about it too much, but his mother's in the hospital. So send prayers out to our guy, Richard Williams. With that being said, I'm your host, Bill Forster. This is Real Talk Chronicles. And Real Talk is sponsored by the Daily Arts of Survival magazine, the last edition. Wesley Snipes, #1 magazine, martial arts magazine on Amazon. Ingram Taxes, Reggie Wells Quality Speakers, Melba Wilson, Leon Ellis, Chocolat, and Harlem Underground. And of course, behind me, Miss Soft Illusions, her gallery. And we will be sending out the thing. I will make that a personal announcement. How her and her mother up for Art Gallery of the Year in Philadelphia. How about that, right? From New York to PA. This is what we do, baby. So you don't have to be from PA to vote. So hopefully you show some love and give us some love. That's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Jacob? My guy. What's up, my brother? Definitely. OneDrive isn't. So yeah, man, we got some stuff to talk about. Like I said, I got a strong hour for you tonight because I have something else to do at 8:00. But I just want to talk about this right now with you. I don't know. I didn't set it up on the computer. But I want you to see this situation that I'm dealing with right now. I'm not dealing with it. The whole Harlem community is dealing with it. I'm going to enhance it right now. I want you to see this. Oh, wow. Let me turn the light off. Hold on. I'm going to show you this. I apologize, but you have to see this. Oh, no, that's the wrong light. Let me do this light. I got lights, everybody. Oh, you can't even see it, really. That is Mother Hale's statue. Oh, man. I'm so sorry. I'm not showing it to you. I'll text it to you or send it to you anyway. I'm going to put it on social media. It's obviously somebody sold Mother Hale's house. And hey, happy birthday, Brenda. Shout out to Brenda in the building. Carrie Morris is in the building. What's up, Carrie? How are you? And Cozell, what's going on? How's everybody? For those that don't know historically who Mother Hale is, shame on you first and foremost. But she's an iconic woman. She was from Harlem. And she did phenomenal things. I'm going to read some of the things that she's done verbatim so that people won't say I'm going off the top of my head because I don't think that would be fair to her. But give me a sec. Hold on. I'm all over the place right now. Okay. I'll start off with this. In the late 60s, Clara Hale started Hale House. She devoted her life to nurturing drug-borne and unwanted children. When mothers were addicted to heroin and were strung out on the street of New York, she took the babies of these ladies while they seek treatment. With the AIDS and crisis hit New York, she took the babies that were born with HIV. In 1985, she was honored by President Ronald Reagan and was called an American hero. Streets, bus stations, and many things were named after her. But today, her statue lies in the well of that person, that her old dwelling. Now, it's obviously somebody has purchased that place, and they have the right to purchase it. But to not know the historical value of what that lady meant to the community and who she is makes no sense to me. If you worked in Harlem, you knew who Mother Hale was. If you're from Harlem, you knew who Mother. But historically, for her to devote her life to what she did, the humanitarian that she is, it's disgusting. I kind of reached out to people on that block to find out what they were doing. The block association. The response was that somebody purchased a house and they have no need for that statue. So I reached out to some politicians. One, one of ours, Al Taylor, and he said he would put some people behind it. We're going to follow up on that because historically, the woman did no wrong, and to be just left in the trash like that for to be discarded is absurd to me. Kev, what's going on? How are you, my brother?
Very good, sir. It's been a while.
Hey, yes, it definitely has, man.
Yourself?
I'm good, man. Been busy. We got a lot going on. You know, we can only be on tonight, Kev, for a strong hour. You know, we have some other important stuff that we have to take care of. But, you know, maybe we might even try to do a little bit more like that for the summer, you know, so people can to enjoy their life and do what they have to do and things like that. Because the summer, some people, you know, they catch us later on when, you know, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. The summer people want to be out. But please be careful. Around my way, people are, you know, around my way in the 3-0. Person got shot on Broadway, 145th Street. The 3-2, 7-0. I mean, there's things, this crime is just still happening. The nonsense. Kevin, you and I haven't even discussed about the mass shootings and what you think about those situations. So, you know, what's your thought? First, let me just get your take on it. First, how are you? You good?
I'm good. I'm good. I was stuck in a lot of traffic, and I just made it in the door.
Yes, you did. What do you think about? I was talking about. You know, we got our personal chat amongst our hosts, our green room chat. What do you think about that statue in Mother Hale, man?
So I didn't understand it, and I caught part of what you had said here. So they were throwing it away, the new owners.
Yes.
Like, there's not a home for that. Are you kidding me?
That's my point.
Like, I'm sorry. We in this country have found homes for Confederate statues that we took down, and we found new places for them.
Yes.
There's no controversy with her.
No.
The woman's an angel.
Absolutely, brother.
And we couldn't find another home for that.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I get, like, the new homeowner has a right to remove it, move it, but there's got to be somebody who would want that.
Listen, I would want it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
somebody doesn't want that.
You know what puzzles me is that there's a school, Kevin. I don't know if you recall. I know it's been eons since we've both been in the 280. I mean, I frequent Harlem more than you have recently. But the thing is, right down 122, there's a school adjacent to her old dwelling, Hale House.
Yeah. I mean,
how come the school is not
places in a 5-block radius that thing could be properly placed?
It for the life of me, I'm baffled. I'm disgusted. I'm mad at the homeowners. How does the block association let that? And now, like you said, new owner, no matter what his ethnicity is, white, black, Hispanic. I'm told he's people of he or she are people of color. So that's even worse. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, I'm hitting you from a perspective of a man of color. For you not to immoralize this woman, like I said, like you said, Kevin. You said it so eloquently. She's an angel. She's a saint. No controversy with her.
None. Zero. Like, this is such an easy item that you really just want to grab the homeowner and slap him back and forth across the face. You know, it's mind blowing. Like, there's no need. This I don't care about the race of the owner. I don't care. Stupid is stupid, and this qualifies as stupid.
Yeah, but I say that in onus of historical, knowing your history. You understand what I'm saying? And the bottom line is, not every white person has to know Black or Latin history, and some people don't. We as people of color, Kev, let me just say this: people of color don't know their own history. But the thing,
most of us don't know our history. But
facts.
You like, it's not like you found it in the attic.
Exactly.
It's a big statue in front of the house.
I mean, think about this.
You bought the house, so you knew what the house was. You have Google if you're not sure. And it takes you 5 minutes to know this woman's a saint and it belongs somewhere. And I'm sure if they offered it up, somebody would have taken them.
What I've heard is that no one has stepped up to take it. I don't know if they put it out there in the universe, like, yo, come get the statue. We don't want it. You know, what I've heard is, you know, it's laying, like, you saw the picture. If you look at the picture, I tried to show the picture. I don't know. Maybe you can show the picture better than I can. I'm just crazy.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, like Cheryl said, when I saw this thrown in a corner like a piece of trash, she did too much work for the children in the community for the statue to be treated as such disrespect. That's what I'm trying to say. What's up, Zed? How are you? Pam, what's going on? How are you? Shout out to everybody. Norm, hello, everybody. Kevin Prentice in the 2-8. You know, Kevin, I don't know if you saw, we were talking about Mother Hale, and she new homeowners bought her place, and they're throwing her statue out like old shoes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm disgusted. Like I said, I'm tight with the Block Association, because, you know, you're a bunch of homeowners, and how do you not understand the, you know, significance of in the magnitude of that lady? Like, really? Like, what's up, Mustafa? I see you in the building. We're good, brother. You know, shout out to everybody watching Real Talk Chronicles. You know, my co-host Kevin Branzetti and myself and my lovely wife Malika behind. We're only going to be on a strong hour. If you have any comments, questions, anything you want to talk about, please write them in. Talk about it right now. We're going to try to give you as good content, much as content and positive content as we can. Kevin, the mass shootings. I mean, unless there's something that you want to talk about besides that, but the mass shootings is something.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been out of control. You know, you have. So also, what's your definition of mass shooting, right? So there's intentional mass shooting, which is Buffalo, right? My intent was to walk in somewhere and guard the school in Texas. Where your intent is to walk in somewhere and shoot as many, kill as many as you can. And then there are mass shootings where people are hanging out at an event, anger happens, guns come out, shots fired, and numerous people get hit. And we've seen a lot of the both within the last week and a half. We've seen an absurd amount of both styles. I think we're starting to see more of the latter than I've seen in the past, where it is that, you know, fight in crowded area, guns come out, people get shot and just shoot, because, you know, nobody's trained in how to shoot. When you're firing that way, your bullets don't go where your mind wants bullets to go. They go wherever they're aimed. So that number is way up. And then, look, you know, we have been talking about now intentional mass shootings since Columbine. And what have we really done about it?
Yeah. Why do you think we haven't done anything about it? And I say we, because I'm listen. We can get into the blue and the red and all that, but I'm saying we. So
it is we, because so federally we haven't done what we'd like, right? Like, a lot of us want different laws and things, but New York State failed, and Buffalo proved New York State failed. Right? We waited until an 18-year-old who clearly had a problem, right, had a long psych eval hospitalization right before. After the hospitalization, came out, bought automatic weapons, and went into the supermarket and started murdering people. So New York is as blue as it gets. We have a blue Senate, we have a blue House, we have a blue governor, and yet our gun laws allowed an 18-year-old to buy weapons of that nature and to buy it with having a mental problem. So we could scream, we normally scream at the federal government, but with that one, we got to look at our own backyard. We didn't have our own house clean and taken care of, and we failed. So we constantly fail in this category, and it is frustrating to watch.
But it's been going on before then, and it's been in red states. So I mean,
it's been everywhere. Nobody's innocent, Bill, is what I'm getting at. Like, we blame red, but here's a scenario: our own state where blue failed.
Yeah,
red is far more on the side of no gun laws, no new gun laws, no gun restrictions. But we're in a blue state, and we didn't stop it.
Yeah, and he laughed at the laws. I mean, the bottom line is, it is what it is. Now, like I said, I'm one for the Second Amendment. I think everybody should bear arms. I was told, I don't know if you saw the show, we had Luis Sepulveda and Chantel Jackson, Assemblywoman Chantel Jackson, and Senator Luis Sepulveda, and it's been he mentioned that on Monday. So people, if you get a chance, go back to watch Monday's show. He said that they're talking about making New York State, you can be able to get your license, your gun license.
That Supreme Court is coming down with a decision on that. DC had an issue years ago where they had some very strict gun laws, and the Supreme Court turned them down. Is there a chance it's going to happen here? Yeah, there's a chance of. In New York, we don't let people get a carry permit, unless you can show a very specific need. And one of the needs is like you work in a high-end cash business, so you have to have a certain amount of money in your pocket every day going back and forth to work. You've got thousands of dollars. People in the Diamond District get these. So the average New Yorker cannot get a carry permit, and that's where the lawsuit comes from.
Okay. Well, that's true. Yeah.
It is to change that. Do I want to see more people on our streets and subways and with guns? Nope. But that's coming from a guy who carries one. So is that a little biased? A little
absolutely. It sure
is. That a little good for me, not good for you? Do as I say, not as I do, right? Like,
But at least you were honest enough to say that you were biased on this, because the bottom line is, crime and shooting happens all over. It's not. And see, I think people need to understand, when you have a right to carry state, certain places that there's a right to carry state, or you can carry concealed weapons, that's not where the height of the shootings are. They're still in the inner city. So let's not misunderstand that. Now, the bottom line is, there's 8 million people is it 8 million or 8 million people in New York City? Does that mean 8 million people should have the right to carry guns? Absolutely not. But the bottom line is, do I want Kevin Branzetti's mother, or my mother, or all the listeners' mothers or fathers that are minding their business, should they have a right to carry and, God forbid, protect themselves? Absolutely. So, the onus is on the person that, the responsibility. I think, like I said, I'm all for people having laws. I mean, having guns. I think I'm a gun owner, of course. But hey, Tracy, but how, when we have the other places where a person can't buy cigarettes and they can't buy liquor,
Yeah.
They can buy a gun.
Yeah.
They can't. They don't even have a driver's license.
But you could be drafted, right? So there's an argument of.
But drafted at 18, not.
Well, that's what this guy was in Buffalo. He was 18.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Right. And I disagree. Yes, I don't think an 18-year-old. And I'm with you, Bill. If we're saying an 18-year-old is not responsible enough to handle a cigarette or a drink, that 18-year-old should not be allowed to buy a high capacity weapon. I understand, and we're different because you and I grew up in the city and we still live in that environment. And I understand people who live in the country, teaching your kid and growing up with, showing them how to shoot a rifle is part of life. And I have no problem with
part of life somewhere else though. But see, the thing
I got no problem with a 16-year-old shooting. I took my second one turned 16. I paid for them to get instructions at a range. I wanted a professional instructor, not me, not their father, so that they would hear it a different way, besides me telling them.
Right.
The proper way to shoot. And I got no issue with somebody who lives, again, you're getting their kid like a single action 22 to teach them to shoot in their yard because they own 400 acres.
What about an assault rifle, Kevin?
No. But I don't think anybody should have an assault rifle. I've always gone with the theory: if you need an assault rifle to protect you, you don't need an assault rifle. You need a realtor.
You need to move someplace, right?
Yeah. If I need to shoot 100 rounds a minute to protect myself in my home, I need a new home. I'm in the wrong place, dude.
I ain't mad at that. Exactly.
And give me the scenario that for those who are for having, where it has worked in somebody's favor, where we've had a home invasion and the guy pumped 175 rounds.
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that story yet. Have you?
The herd of buffalo that came through his front door.
Yeah.
I don't know of any. Are there plenty of scenarios where I had a gun in my home? It was somebody broke in and we protected. 100%. Those exist, and you can have it. Fine. You can have a shotgun in your home if you want a little more kick.
Yeah.
Right? But it's single shots. And it also protects your family. Like having that high capacity multi-shot gun in my house. I have an assault rifle, and somebody breaks in and I let loose 50 rounds. The odds of me killing somebody I care about grows.
I think you said something that was so important. I don't even know that, and your nickname is Stats on the show. I see the questions and comments. I'm going to read them in a minute. I don't know of anybody using an assault rifle to stop a burglary, or stopping the neighbor's burglary, or stopping a carjacking. I've never heard of assault rifle. People say they get them for hunting, and I don't know who you're shooting at. Like
you're not even allowed. It's not even legal to hunt with, right? So they're for pleasure. People like them. Look, can I go to a range and would I enjoy having a Tommy gun?
Absolutely.
And letting 500 rounds go into a target or two? Yeah, I think that's a fun time.
Absolutely.
But that's where it belongs, right? For me, it's like rent it from the range, have a good day, and go home.
Absolutely. Let me just read some comments and questions. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. That's my co-host, Kevin Branzetti. Zetine, you asked a great question. She said, Bill, where are their children? I feel that you should be somewhat responsible also to have secure the statue. I totally agree with you, Zet. I'm disgusted. Like I said, I just saw this on social media today, and I jumped on it. I reached out to Al. I think this is bigger than just New York City. If the president of the United States, Ronald Reagan, at that time, the president, can call her American hero, then we need to put some calls out to our legislators and congressmen and politicians, because it is unacceptable that statue is laying in the bowels of that dwelling. You know what I'm saying? To be discarded. Yeah. So that's unacceptable to me. I don't get it. I don't even understand. Like I said, I don't even understand how the block that's all brownstones, a good quiet block across from a school, has not chipped in $50 for somebody to come and carry it and put it on the sidewalk as a statue or something. You know what I mean? Just
it hasn't even made the news.
I know it's gonna make it now. I'm gonna pop on it.
You know, like I've been sitting here Googling it. There's nothing.
No, not at all.
And I think it would just take one of the locals to just do a story on it, and it will be taken care of. Sometimes you got to embarrass people.
Well, you know what's so funny? I think, how about it's going to take Real Talk Chronicles to stir the fire, because I will try to reach out to somebody or anybody that I know in the news, so they can bring it on their side. Whoever's on their side, yeah.
Or your local politician. Whoever city council covers that area, like somebody's got to. It gets them publicity. I can't see somebody not taking this and running.
Yeah, like I said, I reached out to Al Taylor, and he's the assemblyman, and he said he made some calls. So we're going to see, but there's going to be some follow-ups on that, because there's no way in hell she should be laid in that. Brenda said, "Happy birthday, Brenda Diaz." She said, "My daughter was thinking about working at that same market where the shooting at Buffalo was. Thank God she did. She lives very close from there." Wow. Mustafa said there are 3 reasons for these shootings, and it's not because of guns. Mustafa, tell us what they are. I'll bring you in, Mustafa, if you want.
It's down a couple. You'll see it. He wrote it in.
Yeah. He says lack of family structure, lack of accountability, and unwilling to spend the money and invest on mental illness. What do you think?
I agree. That's part of it, right? But I still don't believe anybody should have
assault
rifles, and an 18-year-old shouldn't be able to buy one.
Yeah, I think I'm totally agreeing with that. Because listen,
silly.
You can't really rent a car until you're 25 years old.
Yeah. We have learned as a society that our brains don't fully function properly until we've gotten older. Mm-hmm. We've even changed a lot of, and there's been a lot in the last couple of years of how we charge juveniles. You know, Bill, when you and I went to the academy a lot and we came out, a lot more 16, 17-year-olds were charged as adults. That's gone. Mm-hmm. Because we realized they don't have the mental capacity. Yeah. 18-year-olds don't fully have, remorse. They don't understand some things. They don't fully grasp the consequences of stuff. It's there. And yeah, the mental health thing. Tell me one of the intentional mass shooters that doesn't have a mental health issue.
Well, you know what's so funny?
I think they all do.
Well,
it's not an excuse, Bill. Don't get me ever wrong with that.
No, I didn't say you weren't. I just think that when we talk about mental health, I think mental health is used to now. First, let me just go on the record and absolutely say, hey Vera, with the wonderful last name, I think there are issues of mental health, unequivocally. I don't want anybody to think that I'm not compassionate to mental health. What I do think is that some people are capitalizing off of mental health. Now, the same person that throws feces and shoots at somebody in the city, and he says mental health, is he the same person that strategically plots to go shoot up a grocery store, a school, a church? Are they both the same mentally ill person? Or is mental ill is just...
There's a wide range of mental ill.
And this is my point, because the bottom line is everybody's looking for the mental ill for the mass shooter. Because the first thing you think, he has to be crazy to do something like that. Okay, yeah, maybe crazy. And we use the word crazy figuratively, not literally, but maybe literally too. but maybe crazy is, I mean, I don't know how we say sick, to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to find the right word to articulate that situation, because a person that strategically plans that has some kind of sound mind. I mean,
Yeah,
no, I'm not. We're not disagreeing at all. We're just
it's different levels, and I'm with you. There is mental ill to the point of you really have no physical control over anything in your life, right?
Right.
Like you are, what we refer to as batshit crazy, right? Like you are
batshit crazy, absolutely.
And then there is the mental ill of you believe in this stuff, but I think everybody who kills has a part mental illness, right? Like I think you have to be a little bit nuts to kill somebody.
Yeah.
I am, look, I'm anti-death penalty. I'm glad I never had to shoot anybody in work or anywhere else in life.
Absolutely.
I think it would take a massive toll on my mental health.
Yeah.
So I think anybody who kills has something wrong with them. If you go out and intentionally kill, but we're not dealing with that. We have stopped. Look, that guy who threw the girl on the subway this week, right? Do I think he's got some mental illness? Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
There's a lot of people out there who I think have a mental illness issue, and we don't do anything with it. We stopped institutionalizing people.
Cheryl said, Kevin, sometimes it's not mental health, it's just pure hate.
Yeah, well, that's what that goes into, Cheryl. I mean that, like, I believe, there's hate 100%, but I believe if you're going to kill people, you have a mental health issue. Not an excusable one, but there's just something wired wrong in your head. Any killing.
Like Zetine said, not just people, black people. One major problem also is that mental illness continues to be mentioned. It is fact that people with mental illness don't like to hurt anyone. I mean, I'm sure there are people like that. I mean, a lot of times we look at a lot of mentally ill people. They want to be isolated and become a little, recluse, and stay to themselves. So, I mean, like Cheryl said too. I mean, we have a swinging pendulum right now with hate and being mentally ill, all using the same word, because to have this much disdain for people, children, elderly, churches, wherever, synagogues, any place, and you have that much disdain. This dude this killer shot his mother first, right? It was his mother or his grandmother.
Yeah, grandma. Like anybody in your family.
Everybody loves grandma or grandpa.
Yeah, nobody ever kills grandma. And I mean, that really shows how far.
Yeah. My man Julio said music plays a big part of all these young kids want to be glorified for shooting and killing people. You know what's so funny? You're totally right. I mean, but that goes back to what music used to be for my generation and anybody that's a little older. Music was made of I miss you and I love you and I don't want to lose you. To even the rap from the young generation, or the conception of rap, was about snapping on each other, dissing, but it was never about I'm coming to see you and I'm gonna blow you up. Right now, you got people talking about triple butter and girls getting paid and twerking and all kind of buffoonery out here in this music, and it's acceptable. It's one thing about understanding the difference to differentiate between club dancing and having fun and actuality. And like I always say, sometimes people tell the youth, stop listening to a lot of these so-called gangster rappers, because if you ask any of these gangster rappers where their children are, they're going to private schools. So they ain't that gangster, right? You can't say I'm getting you out the neighborhood, out the hood, and I want better for my life, but then you go back in the hood and you corrupt my child and Kevin's child and your children and your grandchildren. Sometimes we got to be, cognizant of that and stop supporting that. But right now we're in a different craze in lifetime right now. Everybody want to be a TikToker and all kind of nonsense and everything is about dancing and seeing how many likes you can get. I get it. I mean, if that's the case, I would be dancing on Real Talk Chronicles to see how many likes I could get. If that's all it takes to get sponsorships and stuff like that. Speaking of sponsorships, Ingram Taxes, Daily Arts Survival Magazine, Soft Illusions, Melba Wilson, Leon Ellis, Chocolat. Support those businesses. Also, too, Soft Illusions is up for a Gallery of the Year in Philadelphia, so you can send your vote. Malika is going to put that in, if not this week, next week, so you can all vote. So we want to get that kind of accomplishment. Let me see. Julio said the environment that we're put in. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I can't dispute that, fam. We perpetuate the cycle. Nobody sees the kid going to school in uniform and applauds him. You see the kid on the corner and you give him respect. It's ass backwards. It really is. It's ass backwards. Eunice, she said, "Hey, Eunice, how are you?" She said, "If you have a mental ability to go into a store and buy a gun, load it, and shoot people for no other reason, then they are evil. They are evil. Absolutely. Like, and that's my point. See, you know what I'm saying, Kev? Like, we got to find.
Not even they're not evil. They're evil.
No. I know you're not, but I'm just saying, like, I have a problem calling somebody mentally ill when you strategically plan something, like the dude that threw the feces on the lady in the train. Like, I'm not gonna call you mentally ill because you're throwing feces on somebody, you're throwing shit on somebody. I get it. Yeah, so that's some mentally ill shit, some dumb shit. But the bottom line is, you knew who to throw it on, because damn well you wouldn't have thrown that shit on me. I'd have tore your ass up. We would have both been smelling like shit rolling on them tracks. You know what I'm saying? Because the bottom line is, it would have been crazy. The crazy. So let's, we pick our poisons. Like, there was a guy, I think, in Harlem recently jumping on cars. And then I think when they caught him, he went and got a seizure and died. But the first thing people looking at him, he's mentally ill. Yep, of course he's mentally ill, jumping on cars. Then all of a sudden, then he gets arrested by the police, and then I think he has a seizure. I think that's what happens. I got to get more detail on that. It's just so much stuff. Norm says, when we as law enforcement officers retire, a lot have PTSD, and other mental difficulties, but we hold it together. Absolutely. What's up, Richard Williams? Richard is out having a good time, relaxing. He says, "What's up to everybody?" Let's see what else. Julio said, it's generating money, so they don't care. Absolutely, I totally agree with you. I'm not saying that, we know how they get in that paper. He says, so social media is a big social experience. People do everything for like and validation. It's crazy, bro. Absolutely, my brother. You know what I'm saying? We know. You know what I'm saying? So, what's up, Hector? Our man Hector's in the building. Shout out to everybody watching this Real Talk Chronicles. It's a podcast that keeps it real 24/7, baby. Every time we talk about it, we got to be about it. Kev, is there anything else you want to chop it up on this mental illness?
I'll throw my last thing with the mass shooters like Buffalo and Uvalde and that style. They don't express their hate in a vacuum. Like, you don't go from being Kevin and Bill to waking up tomorrow morning and wanting to kill people because of their race, because they harmed, you were picked on as a kid, whatever your thing is. That's developed and built up, and you scream about it. You are loud, right? Like, none of those people were quiet, but nobody was listening. Nobody was acting on it. Nobody was taking the time to say, oh my God, Johnny's got a problem. We need to get him help. We need to make sure he has no access to things that he can hurt anybody. But I've been studying this for a long time. I've been investigating violent extremists for 2 decades. They're loud. You can't go out and kill people, without it being that way. So that's the other part of this. It is the public education of knowing, there's a responsibility as the community, right? Whether it's internally, me knowing my kids. Right? I know when one of my kids, is in a real bad mental state. We've had that conversation on this show.
Absolutely.
And believe me, when my child was going through all that, there was no way they'd have access to a firearm or anything along those lines. Heck, there was no way they were going to have access to a razor blade in my house that I could
absolutely
find. So part of it is a public education, and it relies a lot on people. Every single mass shooter screamed about their hatred, whether it was verbally with friends, in their house, in a schoolyard, or in a social network chat room. They screamed it.
Yes.
And we didn't listen.
Yeah.
So we can go and we can, yes, and I agree with some of these gun laws, but we can make 100 new gun laws. There are still 1 million weapons out on our streets, in our homes, that exist. So if we are, as people, community, parents, are not listening and helping, these will continue.
Okay, Cozell, I see your statement. I'm gonna read it. Shout out to everybody that's chiming in. Pep, Delcina, so Diana, what's going on? So Kevin, let me ask you a question. You're sitting down with Congress, and they asking you, what do you do about gun laws? Do you want to change them, amend them? What do you want to do? What would you do?
I don't want one. I don't think anybody deserves an assault rifle. Period. Don't. And it should be 21. And if we're going to go to where people can get carry permits in New York and anywhere else, there's got to be a standard. It's not just you can't have been a felon. There's a standard. There's got to be a little bit of a mental health test. All right.
I can't wait till you finish, because I was thinking about this. I got something I want to tell you too.
And yearly qualifications and training, right? Like you need to take a certain amount of training every year, and that's helping them, Bill. You don't want to, the first time you're in a gunfight for your life or your family's life, and you have never been trained, taught, we have seen over and over again of professionals, right, who have been trained, who the adrenaline, the panic, the fear causes bullets to miss, to shoot when they shouldn't have shot, to do. How do you think a completely untrained person is going to react? So,
absolutely,
as the owner of that gun, to protect my family, so I don't kill them in the process, I think they should be trained. So there's got to be a standard of.
I'm gonna hit you with some real shit right now. If you want to open it up for everybody can get a carry permit, and this could be universal around the world. And if you hear it any other place, let them be known that you heard it on Real Talk Chronicles. First and foremost, when we talk about a background check, let's go back all the way to high school, right? Let's go to jobs. What I mean by that, I want to see what kind of volatile temper did you have? How many fights did you have in school? Or how many altercations did you have at work? You know what I'm trying to say? Are you known to perpetuate like a propensity for anger and trouble? Have you ever been arrested for? Okay, like you said,
arrested easy.
Well, I'm talking about even an arrest, but I'm talking. It's a difference between DWI or something like that, domestic, which could be problematic. But what about, have you been arrested for assault? You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about violent crime.
That was when you were 20, Bill, right? If when you were 20, you had one of those incidents, and today at your age, you went for that permit, should that count against you?
No. Because the bottom line is there's a statute of
there's got to be. We got to have a time frame of
course, because people can change, and I do agree with that. So I mean, the bottom line is, like, I think in Atlanta, people can purchase firearms even with a felony.
So I'm going for my permit here, right? I need my gun permit because I'm leaving my job. Yeah, I'll talk later.
Okay.
Or I'll tell it on here if those. But so one of the things with getting my permit here, because I'm doing this right now, is I have to get every adult in my household to sign off on my permit.
Yeah.
I can't get a gun permit in my county without the other people I'm living with. And I think this is a good one, right? You know, where like if Malika says Bill can't have one, Malika wins, and vice versa. And that's for the domestic problem, domestic violence problem, right? Like you don't want. And then I have to get 4 other people in my county who have known me for at least 2 years to sign off on it as well. So there's a legit, like, that's
big.
Most of us would not have an issue. Like, I'm not going to have an issue with that. That's going to be an easy one. I'll get 4 people to sign off on it. That's fine. But, crazy Bobby from around the corner who walks around spitting on people, he ain't going to get 4 people that easily.
No,
right? Like,
no, exactly.
I ain't signing that one.
Yeah. You're right. And he's not going to get somebody that remembers Bobby spitting on him when he was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I don't care about you, a model citizen. You spat on me, you crazy son of a gun. And I say that in jest, but everybody, y'all know what it is.
Yeah, we need to take a look at look, I only know the county I'm in, right? Rockland County. We need to take a look at some other places, other counties, and how they're doing it, and kind of just come up with the best, ability to do it. And it's not that simple. You're talking about if we're doing a real background check, like a background check to become a cop. That takes people, like investigators, going out and interviewing people. That's not.
But think about that, Kev, too. Because that was a little malarkey-ish. They investigated. They went out when they didn't even go on for everybody. But the thing is, they may have called the people.
I saw them talking to my neighbors.
Really?
100%.
I guess that because of red hair and shit. I guess they was wondering who had red hair in the community. They wanted to know about it. It was more outstanding. But I say all that to say, I have no problems with that. But now we just generated jobs.
Yeah.
We generate jobs, people to submit these applications. Huh?
Is it unfair? Because look, you could just make them pay for that, right? The background check, it's a $2,000 thing. But does that become unfair that people with low income can't afford?
Well, I'm not even saying that people have to, maybe like it is for people now still to get a gun permit for the application, because there's right now. You people in New York State, you have to apply for a gun permit, and it's a fee. You win, lose, or draw, you lose that money. I think it's like $495, right? So I mean,
but if we make a bigger background check, it's more money. It costs money.
Yeah, but the thing is, now we're generating jobs, and the bottom line is, how bad did you want this gun? This gun, or and then I think there should be a rules, house permit. Not even a house permit. Maybe in Rockland County, I don't know. Maybe you don't need it if you live in a dwelling or a house, but if you want to carry, you definitely got to get a concealed carry permit and stuff like that, things of that magnitude. So there's just different rules and regulations. I do feel, like I said, if you want to, I felt like I said, I just helped to give people jobs. You need investigators. You need people to process these applications. You need people to call these applicants and talk on the phone and find out who they're. And with that, you need investigators. These give jobs for people like yourself and I to, go back and still keep our investigative skills. You brought something up. I'm gonna show edit to the screen.
Yeah. So just kind of changing topic in the world, and a quick one. We talked about January 6th a long time ago, and there was a lot of thoughts and complaints about how come they're not being charged with more serious crimes. And back then I said, it's just going to take time. We have to be patient because, to arrest 500 people, search 500 phones, 500 laptops, do warrants to social media and email companies and bank records and things. It takes, again, I do this for a living, right? It takes a long time to do something that large, but they're slowly coming out with them, right? Like the Proud Boys people have now been charged with seditious conspiracy and other related, like they're getting charged with high-end offenses because they plotted beforehand. For some people who were there, this was not a
modus operandi. I get it.
It wasn't a spontaneous thing. It was pre-planned, and the ones they could figure out that were pre-planned to break into the Capitol to hurt people or even to kill people, they're getting charged with it. This is seditious conspiracy is not a charge you see in the United States even like once a decade. Like this is not, sedition is a crazy thing, and you don't really get that kind of a charge. So the Proud Boys group.
What is seditious conspiracy for those that don't know?
That's a great question, and I have to go into this and even read it. But it is conspiracy to overthrow the government.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So that's big N stuff. And they're not the only ones. There were other ones that were superseding indictments that had gone out a few months ago for, I think some of either the 3 percenters or one of the other organizations. There were a few well-known organizations that were there.
Hold on, Kevin. Hold on.
Charges are coming.
Hold on, Kevin. Hold on, everybody. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. That's my co-host, Kevin Branzetti. Stefania, I'm gonna get some clarity on what you're asking right now, but I'm gonna ask Google. Hold on. What is seditious conspiracy?
Conspiracy is a crime in various jurisdictions of conspiring against the authority or legitimacy of the state. As a form of sedition, it has been described as a serious but lesser counterpart to treason, targeting activities that undermine the state without directly attacking it.
Thank you.
So it's one shot below treason.
Yep, that's a good thing.
Yeah. I think some of either the 3 percenters or something.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Now, Stefania says, "Did you all see the hearing about to begin on Monday? I believe. I don't know which.
They're doing a public hearing on January 6th, starting on Monday.
Ah, okay.
Am I going to watch it? No. No, I'm also, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a tremendous fan of it. I don't like how they're setting it up. They didn't allow, it's the committee is strictly made of Democrats. They didn't allow any Republicans in it. I don't like anytime any side bans the other side. That kind of stinks to me.
So I'm glad you said that. Hold that thought.
I'm holding it.
Yeah, hold that thought. Cozell, shout out to you, my brother. He said mental health is on the rise. I'm an officer in Newark, New Jersey, and the homeless and the mental health issue is at an all-time high. But we call for crisis. Either they don't show up or they get released less than 24 hours and back on the streets. Something to 100%. Think about. Yeah.
I'll give part of my own story with my kid twice being taken to the hospital. Both times within 15 minutes, the doctor released. The second time against my will. I had a fight with Doc. Like, what do you mean? We just walked in the door. And I'm telling you, it was less than 15 minutes on 2 occasions. The first 2 and the only 2, I went to the same hospital. I'll never go back there.
Right.
But yeah, I saw it firsthand. It was an immediate catch and release. You know,
just checking. It's just like checking boxes.
It wasn't even checking a box. You know, I got home. Well, I don't want to go too deep.
Yeah.
We got only a couple minutes left, but you know, these were serious incidents with my child. These were, you know, threat to their own life, and the hospital shit canned it instantly. Twice.
Damn. Crazy. We'll bring this topic up or that topic up again. Eunice says, start holding the parents accountable for their children's actions. See if things change. I've always been a component of that. I've said it multiple times, and I still hold it to this day.
If you don't lock up your guns in your home and your child gets your gun and goes out and kills somebody, you got some responsibility there.
Yeah. Eunice also says, this is how they'll get Trump. Those guys are going to rat him out. Now, we were talking about something, and I said I wanted you to hold that thought. You said you don't like.
I said I don't like the makeup of the Monday's meeting, Monday's open hearing, because it was only Democrats are allowed on the panel. They didn't allow any Republicans to be part of it.
Now I'm a component. I'm an advocate for fairness down the thing, but the bottom line is what I don't like is when I know you're red or you're blue, and I know you're going to vote a certain way. Uh-huh. So how do we stop that, Kevin? Because the bottom line is, what's the difference if we have all blue? We know how they're going to think. In lieu of we have it all red, we know how they're going to think.
In a couple of years, we're going to have the opposite, right? We're going to have more red than blue in Congress, and then they'll have a panel doing it the other way, and people on the blue will scream. And you're right. Like, well, how do we do it? We vote in the right people, and unfortunately, we don't vote in the right people. Show me, we've talked about it. I mentioned for a long time. Give me a politician who's going on a platform of unifying, and I'll vote for them. I don't care what party they're in.
I agree with that. I
have not seen a unifier in a long time.
No, not at all. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. That's my co-host, Kevin Branzetti. Happy Wednesday to you. You know, I hope you're being safe. Protect yourself. We got to get out of here. I have something else to do. Please share it, subscribe to it. Next week, hopefully I won't have anything to do, or Kevin won't have anything to do. You have something you wanted to show, Kevin?
No. I was just ending that.
Oh, okay. And we can give you back your normal 2 hours. We're here every first Monday of the month. We have Assemblyman Al Taylor. We had a great show. We had Senator Luis Sepulveda, and we had Assemblywoman Chantel Jackson. This Monday coming up, we have Dr. Marilyn Corder. We have Allison Williams, the third Monday of the month. And the fourth Monday, we have Pastor Kevin Graves. And of course, every Wednesday, we have somebody. I've been
a little bad lately. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, these guys have been a little MIA. They've been a little MIA. You know, they're gonna make me find somebody else on their ass. Let me stop. What's up, Miss Herbert?
The good thing about my spot, Bill, is there's no other white cop looking to jump into the seat. So
I know.
My spot's secure.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that, brother. Hey, Jenny Herbert. What's up, Bridget? How are you? Exactly. You're right about that, brother. Because let me tell you something. You add flavor. You add flavor to this coffee. You sure do, brother. So listen. Give us some love, Kevin, before we get out of here. Everybody, like I said, subscribe, share it.
It kind of goes into that last thing I just talked about, right? Finding some common ground, talking to the people you disagree with, bringing unity. Right? That's what we need to push our politicians. That's what we need to become politicians ourselves if we're not seeing it. We need more of, we're supposed to be governed by the people. And we need to kind of push that direction a little more. We're allowed to disagree with each other. I'm allowed to dislike something you like. You're allowed to dislike something I like. It doesn't mean we can't be friends and we can't be neighbors.
Yes, absolutely.
With that, everyone, have a good night and get out and enjoy the good weather.
Yeah, absolutely. Or be careful. Jenny, I think you just had a birthday recently. Happy birthday to you. I think you were somewhere. I saw on Facebook you were dressed up looking elegant. Shout out to Eddie Vieira. Always great show. I see you on YouTube, my brother. Everybody, let's get on this Mother Hale situation. Please, I will post a picture of Mother Hale's house and how disgusting this looks. So I will put that out there right now.
Spread it around.
Spread it around. Let's call your congressman. This is not what state, city you in. This is something that any politician should definitely be wanting to jump on and talk about. All right. That's Kevin Branzetti. I'm Bill Forster. Real Talk Chronicles. Melba Wilson, Leon Ellis, Daily Arts of Survival Magazine, Reggie Wells Quality Speakers, and Ingram Taxes, Soft Illusions Art Gallery. Share it. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to it. If you're on Facebook, share it. We appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Oh, wait a minute. I got to give Kevin this dig. Go Rangers.
I will be rooting for Tampa tomorrow night.
Yeah, I know you will. Come on, New York. Yankees is killing it. Mets is killing it. Rangers is hanging in there, baby. Let's go. Bye, everybody. Have a good night.